Gemini Risings January 2020 has the theme of escaping traps, and that might sound a little strange, but there's this dynamic of dreams and goals, and then the mindset shifts that need to happen in order to escape any limitations that are impeding that. If you're excited to dive into what this January has to offer for you and your rising sign, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. This video is brought to you by my new Modern Magic memberships. So recently launched on my website are membership tiers where you can access exclusive content like iOS downloads and widgets and backgrounds, monthly rising sign reports, and first access and availability announced to you, as well as discounts on my courses and consultations. So lots of cool things with me, live streams as well, not just content that you get, but interact with me and access to private groups, and so many first offerings that I'm offering to my new membership community. So if you're interested in that, check it out on the website for as low as $7.77 a month. You can access some pretty cool stuff, so check those out if you're interested. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, author, and philosophy student. I combine ancient Hellenistic traditional techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded guidance, which we need for the beginning of this year. We start out on the 4th with Mercury conjoining Pluto in your Capricorn 8th house. So there's some kind of deeply regenerative, serious, transformative communication or information coming to light around shared finances or deep, trustworthy matters that you hold with others. So this could be information around like some money you've invested being much greater or much smaller than you assumed. Like Pluto transforms, and so there could be a transformation in that way. There could also be some type of very regenerative matter when it comes to things dealing with other people's lives. Like if you are getting an inheritance, or if you work with dead people, either as a medium or like a mortician, there could be some information that comes to light around transformation of matters in that area of life. From the 9th through the 11th, Mercury will be conjoining Jupiter and Saturn in your Aquarius 9th house, squaring Uranus in your Taurus 12th house. This is where the focal dynamic of the year honestly begins, because I have a full video on I have a full video on Saturn in Aquarius for the next few years, and the Jupiter Saturn conjunction. I just flicked. I meant to point. Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius for the next few years. So if you want to see like the major activation, historical context for these, check those out. But Jupiter and Saturn in your Aquarius 9th house is a new beginning of higher education or foreign travel or religious philosophical study that is a grand new commitment. Like you're committing for this long-term growth, and it's at odds with some kind of rebellion or hyperstimulation, some type of mental health dynamic that's at odds with the goal. You're having to liberate yourself from a mental health trap almost, or like a patterning. And Mercury conjoining Jupiter and Saturn in your Aquarius 9th is like, I'm going to speak out about my plans. I am liberating myself through the communication of it. From the 11th through the 21st, Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius will then square Mars in your Taurus 12th house. So this indicates some internal troubles, or like not wanting to change the trouble. Like you're feeling the liberation and you're like wanting to go for it, and yet there's this part that's like, I don't want to put in the work, and your goals are then motivating you to. So it's this push-pull between the changes and the rebellion against the limiting beliefs, and then the work that it's going to require to do that. On the 13th, there's a really cute little evil mastermind little vibe with the new moon in Capricorn in your 8th house. I have a full video on this new moon down below. I'm into it very, very much like evil mastermind, laying brick by brick, some type of massive real estate empire. Like it's in your 8th house of shared finances. So if you're thinking about investing, oh my gosh, this could grow to a huge amount of profit, honestly. It's conjunct Pluto, which grows fucking atomic levels. So new moon in your Capricorn 8th house of shared finances and joint matters. So escaping some of the traps might be helped out by the trust that you put in with this, like taking a risk to kind of get away from the pertinent issue. On the 15th, the sun is then conjoining Pluto in your Capricorn 8th house. So by the 15th, there's more information coming to light around the shared financial or even death or like taxes, like the dire exchange transactional matters in our lives. That's what's getting activated for you. On the 19th through the 22nd, we do have Mars conjunct Uranus in your Taurus 12th house, which does look look a bit like this earthquaking mental health period, because the 12th house is both spiritual practices and our inner states of being alone, and that deals a lot with the mind and the mental health. This isn't good or bad necessarily, but it does indicate like a shakeup of mindset. So I'd encourage a lot of spiritual practices this month, like meditation, to really contemplate what this earthquaking energy is. Could be a really good time for things like yoga or breath work that really get the energy moving. On the 23rd through the 31st, we have the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Jupiter and Saturn, squaring Mars and Uranus in your Taurus between your 9th and 12th houses. This is like go time of you getting the green light or you being empowered to go after the goals that you have in your education or travel plans that are directly at odds with the mindset shifts that are taking place, where there's this metamorphosis, this like Hulk painstaking journey coming to light with your mental health, and that's allowing you to declare this really serious, very abundant, but very dedicated commitment in your plans for the future. Finally, on the 28th, we have a Leo full moon in your 3rd house. I have a full video on this full moon down below. It is cute, but it's not light. It is serious, and it's the ending first chapter of the long novel you're writing. So it's kind of like you're declaring something in education. Maybe you're saying goodbye to something elementary and you're like upgrading. Maybe you are saying goodbye to your surroundings and like the news sources that you're aware of, and you're broadening your horizons. Definitely looks like an ending to something limiting in terms of information intake. If you have any thoughts coming up for you and this month, if you know how this might already be manifesting, let me know in a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Tarot card for Gemini Risings for January. We have the Queen of Cups reversed. So the Queen of Cups is literally the provider of the providing, the nourishment, the giver of the emotional comfort. And so with the Queen of Cups reversed, it usually means that we are not having our emotional fulfillment take place through the routes that we once had. That maybe you're going through a process of losing someone or something that once brought you that solace, and you're now seeing how to fill that cup yourself by escaping the traps or the dependencies. Next, let's pull an astrology card to see what astrology concept applies. Cardinal, start, initiate, open the doors. Ooh, ow, okay, that was painful. But cardinal signs, I mean, they're sharp. They can be a bit painful. They initiate, they start, they catalyze. So starting and catalyzing with so much Uranus going on in your mental health sector, yeah, I'd say to initiate, start, catalyze, move forward, even if that means like blowing the fucking windows off at the same time. If you enjoyed this and you would like to check out my courses, my consultation availability, or my membership communities, check all of those down below. I would love to have you learn or just, you know, enjoy astrology with me in all the ways.
But there is one thing you're all forgetting, that endless morning will turn to night. And when your dream